We're seeing a change in bowling there from the Wooden Island Volcanoes. So Lewis with just a 1 over for 11 runs and being replaced by Redhead, Nicholas Redhead. It's time to come into bowl to Bertel. Over number 4. Bowls to Bertel. Bertel gets one rising outside the off stump and was looking to probably just put that uppercut, then get back onto ball, and it raced through there to the wicketkeeper. Total remains on 31. Not 33, I was previously said. 31 for the loss of no wickets. Nepal. Redhead. Quite a stocky bowler he is. And Sherman Lewis just assisting him there with the run-up as he goes back to the top of his mark. Breaks into his stride and will come in now to bowl to Bertel. And this delivery, yeah, good shot it is. Swings and swings nicely over that deep backward square boundary. And that's a good shot taken there. And Nepal certainly under charge. Racing on to 37, but that's 6 for no loss. Bertel would have been fairly sedate since that shot. And Redhead make to go back to his mark and rethink. Turns now and breaks into that stride. Now to bowl to Bertel, and this delivery punches and punches nicely into that onside position there, and ball is quickly back. And one more added to the Nepalese total is now on to 38 for the loss of 1 as the sunshine is out in all of its glory here at Park Hill. Redhead. One of 2 Grenadian quicks in this Wooden Islands Volcanoes lineup. This time to bowl to Asif, and Asif is, outcaught. Beautiful catch it is. He was looking to work this somewhere in the outside, got a top edge, and flew into that short third man position, and catch taken there. Nepal losing the first wicket, and a very important wicket of Asif, going for, I believe, 30, and Nepal, they are 38 for the loss of 1, but a nice, decent catch taken there. And there's Asif making his way back to the dressing room as we have a look at the replay. Wonderfully taken catch. And Nepal now 38 for 1, and this is the 4th over, and they were really going at a very good rate. 11 runs per over thereabout. So the new batsman is Anil Kumar Sa. Anil Sa, big number 16 on the back of his shirt. And he'll join Bertel. So Bertel is not out on 10. I need to face his first delivery. Delivery that's came off the face of the bat down to that short third man position, and no run added. Total remains now at 40 for the loss of 1 wicket. Redhead was having a brief bit of interaction there with Lewis. And the now turn comes in out to bowl to Anil Kumar. Kumar to this delivery is beaten outside the off stump. Knew absolutely nothing about that one. And redhead. That's the end of over number 4. And at the end of it, total is 40 to the loss of 1 wicket. And there we see both batsmen having a mid-pitch conversation, mid-pitch conference. And certainly will be having a change from the southern end. It appears as if Lewis will switch from the northern to the southern end. Sherman Lewis. And we'll be bowling to Bertel, who just doing some repair work to his gloves. So Sherman Lewis had to abort that run as there was an exchange between Teddy Bishop and Asif Hooper. Bishop moving into Hooper moving into that short cover position, and Lewis now turns to bowl to Bertel and didn't deliver. Dead ball signal by the umpire. .40 for the loss of 1 as breeze picks up here at the Park Hill playing field, and Lewis first over from this end comes in now, bowls to Bertel. Bertel tries into the onside, long on, comes off the fence in Teddy Bishop, and return is into the gloves of the keeper there. He had to come forward to collect that one, but very importantly, no run added. Total remains on 40 for 1. Muhammad Asif, a batsman who's gone back to the locker room. Here is Sherman Lewis. Races in. And this time, Kumar looking to punch to the offside. Didn't get any bat on the ball. And that one went comfortably into the keeper's gloves. So we're into this the 5th over, 41 on the board, 197 the target. Lewis looking to pick up that wicket for the Windward Islands. Bowls to Kumar. Kumar's nice shot. Well guided off the hip and into that fine leg fence. 4 runs, and taking his tally to 5, and it's 45 now for the loss of 1. Bertel, who's on 11, leans on his bat at the non-striker's end as Lewis pumps and comes in out the ball and wraps on the pad. Is a load appeal, but that one looks as if it was somewhere down the leg side, and Kumar fights on quite naturally. Total remains at 45. So Kumar is on 4 and Kushal Bertel is on 11. And Sherman Lewis in this the 5th over, his second. Will come into bowl to Anil Kumar. And takes a couple steps down and held back there by Lewis, saw the batter advancing and decided just to pull back a bit. And in the end, he had no choice but just to punch it into the offside and get a single in the process. He's on to 5, total now up to 46 with a loss of 1. So 151 required as we enter the 5th over. 15 to go after this one. So they required a run rate just over 10 runs required here up over from this Nepalese team. And Sherman Lewis comes in now. This time to Bertel. And Bertel drives. Lovely. Fielder coming around. And return coming in. The bowler was not there to pick up immediately. But in the end, just a single. And that's the end of over number 5. And the end of it is 47 for the loss of 1. And with another 15 to go, exactly 10 runs per over required, 150 the total required by this Nepal team to earn victory in this the first practice game here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where they're taking on the Winner Islands Volcanoes. And it's a Volcanoes team certainly packed with a lot of talent. Sunil Lambris not with the outfit, understand that he's injured, and nonetheless posted a decent total here today, a total of 196, just 4 runs short for the 200. But the Park Hill playing field is not the largest of grounds, but quite a good facility. And Nepal certainly will be looking to get as close as possible, quite naturally surpass the total. Here comes Redhead now to bowl to Bertel. Bertel gets one right up, and that was a possible chance there. Back to Redhead. I believe he would have dropped that one, but you'll have a thought there for the bowler, because he was just coming off of that stride of his, and that one came rather quickly off the bat of Bertel. He flung himself to his left, but couldn't hold on to it. And a chance there for Bertel. He's not out on 12. Total is on 47 for the loss of 1 as Redhead comes in once again. And this delivery is shots, and good shots. That's 6 uppercuts over third man, and 6 runs there from Bertel. Dug in there from Redhead, and got the bats under, up and over, so to speak. And 6 well-taken runs, putting the 50 on the board here for Nepal. They're now 53 for the loss of 1, and 18 runs now to Bertel. Redhead races in, and this delivery, driving high, hard, is gonna get pretty close to the fence. 1 bounce, 2 bounces, and I believe that's 4 runs. It is 4 runs. So shot over extra cover there for Bertel, and taking Redhead to the cleaners for those last 2 deliveries. It's now 57 for 1. And Bertel is on to 22. Redhead comes in. And this one, again, good shots. Under it, over the third man fence for 6 more. So it's becoming quite an expensive over here from Redhead. Captain Milius so going and having a quick chat with the Redhead, tapping him on the back. But the attack is definitely on here from this Nepal team. They're now 63 for 1 in this the 6th over, maintaining that 10 runs per over. And Redhead at this point in time needs to have a settled head, as he will now Well, our boss's run as the batter was certainly not ready. There's some field changing that is taking place. Fielder went right back on that deep backward point boundary. There's a point. Cover, mid-off, mid-on. As Redhead comes it down. Bosu Bertel tries down to mid-on. And quickly taken single. It is. And one more to the total, 64 for the loss of 1 wicket. And since the departure of Asif, who was quite aggressive, Bertel certainly taking up the challenge here for Nepal. Redhead turns at the top of his mark and breaks into stride. Comes in. This time goes to Kumar. He's beating him. Slow delivery test. Played all over it. And good comeback there from Redhead, deceiving the batsman in the process. And he was certainly bamboozled, as you said. Loss of wicket number 2 there for Nepal. Is 64 for 2. And quite a nice, decent delivery there from Nicholas Redhead. He got a few sticks early on in the over. Some big heaves from the bat of Bertel. And in the end, with a settled head, if you can say that, deceiving Kumar and bowling him in the process with a slow delivery. It's 64 for the loss of 2. Nepal chasing a target of 197. So, any batsman coming to the crease. And I believe that's Captain Rohit Kumar. It is, yes. Captain coming to the crease there for Nepal. So it's going to be, looks like Larry Edwards, who's going to pick up the attack from the southern end for the Wooden Islands Volcanoes. And this time we bowl into Bertel. As punching up the gloves to Bertel and the new batting is Captain Rohit. 100. +30 required here from this Nepal team. 133 required for victory. 64 for the loss of 2 wickets. And Larry Edward comes in now to bowl to Bertel. Bertel punches this into the offside. Fielder comes in from that extra cover position, picking it up. And one more to the total. So Captain Rohit Kumar is going to take his first strike. Edwards goes to Rohit completely beaten, bamboozled, and Nepal has lost the 3rd wicket, a very important wicket in the captain. Rohit Kumar forced back, one that kept low, and lost his stumps in the process. It's a 65 for the loss of 3. And certainly the Wooden Island Volcanoes, after some early blows off the bat of Bertel and Asif, pulling things back in this late 7th over. It's now 65 for the loss of 3 as we Have a look at the replay a while ago. And new batsman coming in, looks like Sandeep Jura. So Jura to join Bertel, Kushal Bertel. And Larry Edwards, and this is first over, striking for the Woodland Islands. And much to pleasure of his captain and his teammates. And we'll continue in this, the 7th over. To bowl to Jura. Sandeep Jura. Just having a look at the field, and now settles as Edwards moves between the umpire and the stumps. And this one wraps on the ball. Larry Edwards picking up his second wicket in 2 balls. And much to the amusement of the spectators present here at the Park Hill playing field, the Volcanoes with 2 quick wickets at 65 for 4, and Nepal certainly in a bit of a bother. They've lost their captain, Rohit, with 1 delivery, and there we see Jura, also 1 delivery, and 2 wickets and 2 balls. He's on a hat-trick, Larry Edwards, and we now see the new batter coming in, a very tall player he is. And it looks as if it's Gulshan Kumar, the new batsman, to join Kushal Bertel. .65 for the loss of 4 Nepal. And this is the 7th over, being bowled here by Larry Edwards. Maybe just writing a new script as far as this game is concerned, Edwards. Because prior to this over, Nepal, they were really tearing into the attack of the Woodland Islands. Redhead certainly came in for some stick, but he bowled a beautiful slow ball to pick up the wicket of Asif. And Larry Edwards, of course, since then has picked up 2 additional scalps. He's now on a hat-trick as Gulshan, tall figure he is. And still some adjustments being made by Captain Milius. Now we see shot with mid-wicket being put in place. As a matter of fact, he's going to go into mid-off position. Lead mid-wicket as Edwards comes in now and bowls to Gulshan. Gulshan is right in behind this one, avoiding the hat-trick. And importantly, no further loss for Nepal. Score is now 65 for the loss of 4. And this is the 7th over. Larry Edwards. Comes in now to bowl to Gulshan. Gulshan is back and across and plays it into the offside. Point comes into play and gets the ball quickly back into the keeper's gloves. Total remains at 65 for 4. Larry Edwards into Gulshan, and Gulshan works it into the onside. So that's the end of a very good over, productive over there from Larry Edwards, picking up 2 wickets in the process. Very importantly, slowing the run flow restricting the Nepal team. They're now 65 for the loss of 4, and certainly some repair work to be done by Gulshan and Bertel. I'm now being rejoined by Cecil Charles, and certainly the match well poised.
Very much so. 65 for 4 at the completion of 7 overs. I think Nepal would have some work to do, and certainly one would anticipate a partnership here between the two batters, and we see there's going to be a change in bowling at the northern end.
It is a change in bowling. Red had been replaced. He would have picked up the wickets of Asif in his previous over, and been replaced there at the northern end. Descarte. So Descarte, a new bowler, and had a fairly good innings, Descarte.
And the Windwards actually posting a pretty decent total.
Yes, 196. And Descarte, along with Captain Melius and wicketkeeper Douglas it is, marshalling their forces. So we await the start of this, the
8th over.
8th over, as Descarte, medium pacer, comes in now, bowls to Bertel, wraps him on the tight pad. He was looking to work it through the onside, and gets to the pitch of it, so to speak, and rattled on that tight pad. Total remains at 65 for the loss of 4. And of course, we had some aggression from Asif, and Bertel has certainly shown that he can do it when required, as Descarte now comes in now, bowls to Bertel. Bertel drives down to mid-off. Fielders quickly onto it. Bert's a single. And good cricket there by the Windward Islands.
Well, good cricket thus far, and Descarte seemed to hit the spot immediately, not giving him that freedom to free his arms. And he would want to finish very strong. I think Windwards would like to have a pretty decent over here to just put some pressure more on Nepal.
Well, let's see what happens with this delivery. Descarte ends, bowls, Bertel works it into the, well, he's looking to probably get that into the point region. And ball in the end just there to the wicketkeeper. Total remains on 65 for the loss of 4.
So 3 dots on a row. Very interesting indeed at this particular juncture of the game.
Yes. Descarte. Right arm medium bowls and works into the onside. Mid wicket is off the boundary, and a good return coming into the gloves of the keeper there.
There was Hodge very quickly off the fence, covering grounds like a hare, and rifled that back to the keeper and keeping it down to a single. So really not having reruns turning over as we saw in the Windwards innings. They were turning over the singles, turning over the strike. But Descarte so far in this over, 4 deliveries, just a 1 run off the over. He would want to finish very strong, 66 for 4.
So Descarte just asking the cover to come a little bit more square, if you can say that, and he'll now, as a mid-wicket to come wrong a bit, comes in now to bowl to Gushal. Gushal just works it into that point position. Good work there from Captain Melius, and restricting the score. Still on 66 for the loss of 4. So it's really a nice, decent over thus far.
Yes, so 5 deliveries, 1 run, and certainly he would want to ensure that there's no boundaries hit at this particular stage.
Descarte was having a bit of a conversation there with Melius with regards to the field adjustment, and in his opinion the long off should remain, but Captain Melius is asking him to come into that looks like a mid-off position, bringing him off the fence and now pushing back the long on. So here comes Descarte now to bowl to Gushal. And this one beats him outside the off stump. The end of a wonderful over there from Descartes.
Extremely good over. Just giving her a single. And you can see good carry to the keeper. Certainly the surface getting good bounce, good carry. And the keeper appreciating that. But the Windward's really tightening the screws here on Nepal at the completion of 8 overs, 66 for 4. And really, I think we want to see something here from the Nepalese. And let's see who is going to pick it up from the southern end. So right hand, left hand combination. So left arm in bowls, but it goes back. So that bubbles back to the bowler. There's no run, so things are kept very tight indeed. Larry Edwards, Windward's bowls. Again, he goes back and he hits it in the air down to Long On, who comes off the boundary, keeps it down to a single, and the total goes on to 67. So runs now down to a trickle. And bright sunshine here at the Park Hill playing field. Lovely conditions, nice cooling breeze blowing across the ground. One can see the flags fluttering in the breeze. And the left-handed batter Colbin comes in, he flashes at that, misses outside the off stump, taken cleanly by the keeper standing up, and there is no run. So Edwards keeping things rather tight. He's in with fourth delivery. He goes back, bangs it out to backward point, knocked down there by the man at backward point. They go through for a single. Total now on to 68. So 68 for 4. We are in over number 9. And really, the Windward's really tightening the screws here on Nepal. As Bertil comes back into strike. Edwards between the umpire and the stumps. Goes back. Edwards feels to his own bowling, and there is no run. So just 2 runs so far in this over, Anthony, with just a single delivery remaining.
Yes, and really and truly the Windward has pulled it back nicely, really putting a grip on the...
And that's a Yorker length, he digs it out. Well bowled.
Yes,
and again, that's the end of a very, very good over indeed. I think the last 2 overs, just 3 runs coming off the last 2 overs. Nepal find themselves under pressure.
Certainly, a lot of pressure here this afternoon, and this afternoon in the hot sun here at the Park Hill playing field. It's now 68 for the loss of 4. This partnership a very important one, as they look to surpass that total of 197. They would have lost some 3 quick wickets, captain included, Captain Rohit, and Gulshan and Bertel, who's been there since the start. He's not out on 31, I believe. Will need to stay there, soak up a bit of this pressure, and try to get Nepal as close as possible, possibly over the line here this afternoon.
Definitely. So Descartes will continue from the northern end, as the Windward's looking to really make further inroads into Nepal's batting. And he's driving in the air, short of the man at mid-off. Return comes in, tame return really. And what first looks rather suicidal, in the end got in very safely. Total goes on to 69 for 4. We are in over number 10. And Asif Hooper covering grounds, fielded nicely, but I think was a weak return to Descartes, allowing the batter to get in. So Descartes comes into Bertil, who is flashing that down to third man. This third man on the bounce for 4.
Well, when you go at it as hard as possible, and so did Bertil on that occasion. Took the outside edge and it flew past the keeper and past that third man position. 4 runs to Nepal.
Well, Descartes gave him the room to free his arms, and he really went at it hard on the bounce and went flying past third man and into the fence. And his good delivery. And he has to defend. Extra cover covering grounds. And feels well. There is no run. And Descartes with a smile seemed to be enjoying his work. Had a very good first over. Conceding one run. And now trying to tighten some screws on Nipples, batting 73 for 4. We are in over number 10. And he's swinging at that high in the air. Find like he's coming around. Will he catch it? No, he clears the fence for 6. Top edge. And a small ground. Asif Hooper was looking to get underneath it, but it sailed over his head and into the rails at the Park Hill Pavilion for 6. And the total now on to 79, but he was looking to work it. He got a top edge and he got the maximum that he deserved.
Without a doubt, it was a well-taken shot there from Bertel. He's been the aggressor. He's on to 42.
So here is Descartes. He's down the track and he's lifting that high and hard. That would clear the fence. This is another 6. Huge hit.
So Bertel now deciding that I'm going to take it to the bowlers, and he's throwing the kitchen sink more or less, but playing some good constructive shots in the process.
Very good shot. And he used his feet, got there, and he lifted it over the long off fielder, clearing him by a distance. And umpire Butler just examining the ball, now tosses it to Descartes, who has gone for some runs in this over. And here he is. Good delivery, guys. It's out to backward point. Melius has a throw, misses, and had that struck, he would have been gone by the mile.
Without a doubt, he was way out. But Melius, unfortunately, wasn't able to get ball onto stumps, and one more run added in the process.
So a pretty fruitful over indeed there for Nepal. I think some 17 or so runs coming in that over. So 86 for 4 at the completion of 10. If my math serves me right, 8.6 runs and over.
Well, there's just about 111 to go, so they have to go out to 11 plus.
Yeah, 111 for 10. And so Larry Edwards.
He's had a good spell, Edwards. Let's see if he can certainly sustain that. And now receiving the ball there from Sherman Lewis as the sun is once again out in all of its glory, Charlo.
Yes, a wonderful day here at the Park Hill playing field. And Edwards would go between the umpire and the stumps. And one must say a much appreciative crowd here at Park Hill as usual. Not a very large crowd, being a working day and a school day as well.
Yes.
But there are those diehards who are here. And Bertel drives square, beats Melius. Backward point has some run to do. Hodge knocks it down and keeps it down to 2. So good work by Hodge on the boundary and saving his team 2 runs. The total goes on to 88, and we are in over number 11.
Well, Charlo, we've been joined in the commentary position by a gentleman named Sean Rose. He's not contributing, he's only adding to our hunger. Well, the fact he's eating some rice and peas and stew chicken.
Well, I really refuse to talk about it because I think he has done it for spite. Here he says working it down to deep mid-wicket, who comes off the boundary. Keeps it down to a single. The total goes on to 89. 89 for 4 in over number 11. So the turning over of the strike that we spoke about earlier. And the left-hander, Gulshan comes into strike. And he swings off the top edge. Diving effort there. I think he just chopping short, but I think he was a late move by the fielder, short third man. He was looking to swing that somewhere over mid-wicket. Got a leading edge and fell just short of a diving fielder there at short third man. And there is no run.
So Larry Edwards continued to put problems to these Nepalese batsmen.
This time he swings high in the air. Someone is getting underneath it. Melius is settling. He takes it. And again we see Gulbin looking to go deep mid-wicket. Got a leading edge. Melius at short extra cover, covering some grounds to mid-off. and took a comfortable catch. Nepal now 89 for 5.
89 for 5, and yes, it's just the fact that Larry Edwards continued to bowl that good, maintaining line, so to speak, and placing a lot of pressure on the batter Gulshan. He had that attempt, the ball before, certainly, and this time he was looking to go straight. Got the height, but not got the elevation, I should say, but not the distance, and it was an easy work there for Captain Melius.
So Windwards continued to apply some pressure. So 89 for 5 in over number 11, and really it's going to have a big axe here on the lower order to really mount that sort of fight back for Nepal. We see Airy making his way out. He will join Bertil, who is on 52, I think.
He's on 52.
All right.
Highest score for the game thus far. We had a good innings of the bat of Dylan Douglas for the Wooden Islands, who scored around 50. And Bertel now on 52 there for Nepal. Let's hope it's not in a losing cause. They require just another 108 runs for victory. And we're into the 11th over. So Bertel, still a lot required from him. Opening batsman. He started quite sedately, so to speak. Left it up to his fellow opener in Muhammad Asif, who really plundered the bowling, especially off of Redhead. But since his departure, Bertel has certainly taken up the task, so to speak.
So Airy would now face Larry Edwards, who has been among the wicket. I think that's his third in, and he's working that out to mid-wicket, who comes off the boundary. He will keep it down to a single, and the total now goes on to 90. It's 90 for 5 over number 11 in progress. And we see Asif Hooper doing a bit of warming up. So perhaps we're going to see the left-arm orthodox coming in at that northern end at the completion of over number 11. So Bertil, just Melius doing some adjustments. Bertil just pulls away. Now he settles. A big gap, a real open stance. A good delivery, drops it and runs it out to backward point. He gets a single. And a poor piece of work by Captain Melius, giving away extra run. And the total now goes on to 92.
Should really have held on to that one, Melius, because Edwards was nowhere close to the stumps. He went for the stumps and missed it completely. And as you said, just giving up an easy additional run to the Nepalese team. 92 for the loss of 5.
So 92 for 5 at the completion of over number 11. So that would give us just over 8 runs and over. And we see Asif Hooper, who is going to pick it up from the northern end.
Yes. And Hooper.
So it's going to be all spin attack.
Without a doubt here at Park Hill as Hooper. And that bearded look reminds you of the English spinner.
Yeah, I know, Moeen Ali.
Moeen Ali.
So he bowled round the wicket, and umpire Butler standing at the northern end. So Hooper, like Edwards, would go between umpire and the stumps.
So this time he'll come into bowl to Irie, and delivery as a shot works into that backward point position. And Melius, the captain, is there. Didn't pick up initially, but did enough to avoid the run. Total remains at 95, make that 92 for the loss of 5. Asif Hooper, who is really, on local terms, a T20 specialist. And this one driven into the point here again, and again Melius not holding on to it, and this time
giving away a single.
Yes. So one more to the total, one more to Irie. Bertel now comes in to take strike. Facing up now to Asif Hooper. This delivery is banged square of the wickets, and that's going to get into the fence. That's 4 more runs. Good shot there from Bertel.
I think he waited on it, played it late, and bisecting the third man and backward point, and it raced away and down to the fence for 4. Well played indeed there by Bertil.
Without a doubt, he's certainly leading the charge here for Nepal, and he goes on to 58. Hooper Just asking for a bit of a field adjustment, and that is the case. You see a short third man, a backward point in position. So they're packing that area. They see that there's an area of strength for Bertel as Hooper now comes in now. And Bertel now looking to work this one off the pad. I believe it would have struck him on that thigh pad. Let's wait for the signal. And yes, it is a leg by.
So, leg by. Total now on to 98. And they see umpire Butler indicating 2 legal deliveries remaining in the over.
Hooper this time to Irie, and outside the Austin, fans at it. Didn't get any bat onto the ball. Luckily for him, an edge would have meant him walking back to the pavilion. Such is not the case as Hooper comes in now to bowl to Irie. Irie, good shot, works it into the onside. The long on comes in Kavim Hodge, and one more to the Nepal total.
So 99 at the completion of over number 12. And I would say giving away a boundary, but still a very good over indeed.
It is a decent over there from Asif Hooper, given the fact that the run rate required is still very much in the 11 runs per over here for Nepal.
I think that has increased. So 99, still needing some 97.
98. 98 off 8.
98 off 8.
Almost 11 runs per over required.
Yes, so still in that area.
Well, it's over 12 runs per over.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
12. So Larry Edwards will continue. I think this should be his final over.
Yes, this should be his final over. Ball played into the offside. And there, the fielder picking it up quickly. That's Hooper. Couldn't avoid a single.
And the 100 comes up.
Yes.
In over number 13, 12.1 overs. 100 for 5.
So Larry Edwards, he's had a decent game. Had a fairly good innings for the Winning Islands. Comes in down, bowls to Bertel. And fans that one outside the off stump. Missed it completely into the gloves of the wicketkeeper.
Good take by the keeper. A bouncing delivery, and he rode it well. And took it very cleanly. Very talented individual in Dylan Douglas.
Bertel to this one. Looking to hoik it some over mid-wicket. Didn't get any bat onto the ball. It thumped into his pad. There was a loud appeal. But the umpire not interested.
So Douglas, he also bowls some off spin. Very talented individual, doing some wicket keeping now.
His delivery is hit high and hard over cover. And almost into our scoring position here. And six well-taken
really
runs.
Into our scoring position. And you can see a few persons had to take a bit of evasive action. And so 6 so to Bertel. He goes on to 64, 106.
He's really showing his class here at Park Hill. Kushal Bertel. Edwards comes in. Outside the off stump, and this one fanned it, got an edge. Raced into the third man position. 4 more runs.
Well, the third man was a bit wide. He got a top edge, and that flew fine. And down to the boundary, the white third man just stood and looked at it as it raced into the fence, and all he could do was to just retrieve it and return it to the keeper. So 104 now for should be a what? 104?
104 for 5.
For 5. So Bertel seems to be stepping on the gas at the moment.
Edwards may have different thoughts to this delivery. Bertel is wrapped on the pad, looking to work it into the onside. He was stretching there. The end of the over, a mixed over there for Larry Edwards, but very importantly, picking up 3 wickets for the Volcanoes and certainly keeping them in the hunt.
Definitely, and so his spell comes to an end. It's 110. Let's see, 110 for 5 at the completion of over number 13. So 7 overs to go, and the Windwards would want to ensure that this partnership is broken, because Bertel seemed to be stepping on the gas, really increasing the tempo, so to speak. And once he remains And so there's still 12.42 runs and over needed. And Asif Hooper will continue from the northern end. And it's going to be Airy, the right-handed batter, to take strike.
Asif Hooper tosses the ball from hand to hand. And now comes in, bowls to Airy. Airy was looking to punch that through the offside, but came off, I believe, the inside edge of the bat.
And bounced over the stumps, actually. And you can see keeper Douglas holding his head, perhaps saying, how did that miss?
Well, gods were with him as Hooper to Airy once again. This time he works it nicely off the pads into that short mid-wicket position. Hodges off the fence, and 1 run in the process.
112 for 5.
Quick conversation between bowler and keeper, Hooper and Douglas. Maybe something that Douglas would have seen, and just indicating such to Asif Hooper, who mops his brow. And Airy now gets back into his wicket, settles, and to this delivery, drives. Long off is off the boundary, and they're back for the second, but a good 2 there from the Nepal team.
Good positive running on the part of Nepal, and picking up 2 runs and pushing the total on to 114 for 5. That was not timed as well as he wanted.
And there we see Airy coming down the wicket, but pulling back on his length there was Asif Hooper, and stifling whatever effort Airy had intended. 1 run in the process.
115 the total now. And Bertil, who is on 69, comes into strike.
So they've been knocking around Asif Hooper, getting the single here and there, the occasional 2. And very importantly, keeping that scoreboard ticking. Hooper comes in now to bowl to Airy. Airy drives down to that cover region. Fielder picked it up and tosses it back. And in the end, it's just
keeps it down to a single. So at the end of over number 14, it's 117 for 5. A pretty tidy over on the part of Asif Hooper. But we see Bertil now content to just work it around, perhaps looking for a late surge. And with that, they're scoring with 6 overs remaining, 36 deliveries to get some 80 runs.
80 runs, yes.
And needing some 13.33 runs and over. And I saw the Windwards would fancy themselves at this particular time.
Without a doubt, but with Bertil there, he has shown that certainly he has what it takes to hit this ball, and hit it very far indeed. And they will be quite naturally cognizant of that and will want to see the back of Bertil. So looks like Kavem Hodge is going to pick up the attack from the southern end.
So the Windwards will continue with spin, and Hodge also a left-arm orthodox spinner. So we have Larry Edwards, Asif Hooper, and now Kavem Hodge.
So Airy the batter, as there have been a couple of fielding changes from Captain Melios. Kavem Hodge, Dominican by birth, and we're now prepared to come into bowl to Airy. The delivery that is short and is banged. I think he was looking to go more mid-wicket there,
yes,
than anything else.
He was tugged that down too long on, and he got a single. The total goes on to 118.
Hodge now to Bertil. Bertil.
He's bowled him.
Well, he has knocked it down the stumps.
Bowled him. Chopped it into his off stump. And you can see the dejection on the part of Bertil. He was not short enough for that shot. He went back, and it was too close. Got the bottom edge into the stumps. And he has to make his way back to the pavilion and celebration in the Windwards camp.
Well, that's the wicket they wanted, because certainly Bertil was really and truly having a fantastic innings here at Park Hill. He looks dejected as he makes his way back, a shake of the head, but has to go back to the pavilion. And striking there for the Winners Island Volcanoes, Kavem Hodge is number 118 for the loss of 6.
And that's his second delivery. So early inroads by Kavem Hodge. He's a seasoned campaigner, one who came through the ranks of the under-19. Can recall up to 2009, 2010, he was in the under-19 squad. He's really grown in stature, played for the Windwards, also the West Indies. And here he is with Windwards Volcanoes in this practice game against Nepal, picking up an early scalp in his very first over of the second delivery, and Nepal finds themselves at 118 for 6.
So Sampal Kami, the new batsman from Nepal. Kavem Hodge had, I believe, 2 earlier overs. So he's now into his second spell.
He's into his second spell. Unfortunately, I would have missed that. As the new batter now takes his guard.
So Samal Kampi just having a look around, and Hodge it is. Bowls. Works it nicely to that short third man position, and the 1 run will result. Sampal Kami. So we have 2 new batters at the crease. One Irie plays it down to long off, and fielder picks up. 1 more run resulting.
It's now 120 for 6 in over number 15. And they really have some beautiful sunshine here at Park Hill.
Beautiful sunshine. Ball outside the off stump, knocked into the offside. And the field in that cover position comes around, picking it up. And 1 more added. It's 121 for 6. Of course, Thursday and Saturday, there are 2 other games here at Park Hill. Hodge bat is down the pitch in Irie. And this one, for a moment I thought it would have been an opportunity, but it dropped way short of the fielder coming in from that long on position, and just another single added.
Well, I think it was good bowling on the part of Hodge. Saw him advancing, he pulled it down short, he was deceived on the bounce, and it was only to lob short of long on when he got a single in the end. 122 for 6. A pretty tidy over and a successful over indeed by Kavem Hodge for the Windwards.
So with another 4 overs remaining, still 75 runs required. The task is getting bigger and bigger for Nepal.
Well, definitely. It is becoming like a mountain, climbing Mount Everest. And so it's going to be Asif Hooper who will continue. I think this will be his 3rd over. And he will bowl over number 17.
That's correct. Over number 16, I believe. Yes, over number 16. So Asif Hooper. It's time to bowl to Irie. At 45 on the back of his. Hooper to Irie. Irie drives down to long off. And fielders down there picking it up now, restricting the batters just to a single. Quick return coming in there to Hooper.
So discarded on the long off boundary, covering grounds very quickly. And Hooper was full, not allowing the batter to get underneath it to go over the top.
Here he is down to Sampal. Sampal drives uppishly. Once again, this Carter comes into play. And again, another single added to the Nepal total.
So 124. 124 for 6. And we're in over number 16.
Asif Hooper. Outside the off stump, and this time it's into the cover, deep cover position. And again, yet another single. The singles are not going to do it for Nepal.
It's certainly not, but you can see what Asif Hooper is doing. Looking to bowl full, not allowing the batter to get underneath the delivery.
This one, Sampal goes square the wicket. Lovely shot. That's 4. Well struck there from Sampal. All just outside the off stump, and he got back into the ball.
Full toss, and he made full use of it.
Full use of it.
It had the width, and he just square drove it.
So Asif Hooper comes in once again to bowl to Sampal. A delivery that he was looking to, well, getting it pretty close to the fence, and they'll pick up 2 here. I don't think that was his initial intention, and there we see a bit of a scrappy work from the Volcanoes, but in the end, still restricting the Nepal team to 2. And total moves on now to 130.
130.
For the loss of 6. Hooper to Sampal. Nice deft shot, straight a shot, third man. And the throw was quickly in, but so too was Irie. He was very quick between the wickets there, Irie.
A bit offline as well, so keeper Douglas had to cover a bit of grounds, and certainly Airy was not under any threat whatsoever, making his ground.
So there we see the end of over number 16 from Asif Hooper. I believe either 7 or 8 runs off of that over, not the required 13 plus for over.
And the run rate continues to mount.
So
for Nepal, Hodge will continue. This should be his last over.
Should be his final over, Kabem Hodge. This time he'll be bowling to Sampal. As Hooper goes right back on that copper boundary, comes in now, shot, and hits square of the wicket. Hooper comes around but can get in time. Good shot off the bat there, Sampal.
Certainly gave him the width, and he really square cut that with some power. Asif Hooper on the backward point boundary had no chance as it went across the ropes in a very quick time, and the total goes on to 135.
Let's see what Sampal does with this one. And he's wrapped in the pad. It's too far down the wicket. There was an appeal, but certainly that was not going to be called out. And there we see a couple of mistakes in the field.
Again, and Captain Melius as guilty as ever. Had a quick throw, Hodge not collecting, and the total goes on to 137 for 6. So both batters are now on 14.
This one